Hey, welcome to another adventure in old code, the place on the internet where we take a look at old QBasic code we wrote back in the day, and we laugh and we cry and we cringe, but mostly we just hang our heads in shame at what came out of our brains. Today we're going to take another look, we're going to take a look at another one of my brother's gems, Combat2. Last time, which was months and months and ages ago, I can't even remember when. We took a look at Combat, his ninja guy, and his other guy with a chain, something or other. Anyway, that was interesting. This is Combat2, so let's have a look at what this is all about. We're going to switch like this, and just like magic, here we go. Okay, Combat2. So that's probably under the quick basic folder, and I'm going to have to go like file not found. What are you talking about? Combat star. Oh, it was .bas. Whoops. Okay, Combat2. And I think, oops, you know what? I forgot to set my sound. 1 second. To be the speakers. Because I'm sure we're going to hear some sound. Okay, so Combat2, exclamation mark. Welcome to this gem. That was obviously a sequel to the original. And yikes. There's a lot of stuff in here that looks familiar. But it's literally been at least 8 months, I think, since I last did an adventure in old code. So I think, I don't know how well I'll be able to recognize what's new and what's old, but let's have a look. Let's just run it. Warning, this game contains animated and graphical violence. That looks the same. Sound on, yes, of course. Of course the high level of graphical violence. Ooh, okay, so we've got some changes. This is now a magic type guy. Now, he has more moves, is easier to control. He looks really cool. And he is magic. Now, he isn't as strong and he has less HP. Okay? Oh, my word. See, this looks so familiar. I can't... Did he just create a new label for the ninja type guy? He looks like he even used the same sprite. Anyway, so we can move by the number buttons. We can punch. It can be 2 spaces away from opponent. Enter is a magic kick to opponent. So this is not a kick. This is a magic kick. Must be right up to opponent. And jumping on his head must be 1 space away from opponent. And poison the opponent must be right above the opponent. Although this is curious. 1 power continuously? That's a bit interesting. Okay. He's the spear type guy. He's stronger, has more HP, has a friggin' spear, has less moves and weirder controls. So QW, yeah, it's this whole left square. He could push magic type guy. S is to punch. Must be right up to opponent. Tab or space, throws a spear, must be lined up with opponent. 1 to 20 power. That's a powerful thing. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Oh, right. The number buttons. What? There we go. The number pad. Okay, so I can, as the magic type guy, I can move around. I can punch him there. We heard that punch. That was kind of nice. I can, oh. So if I'm right up to him, I hit enter and I kick him. It's kind of got that. So that was accomplished by a put command that wasn't the regular put command. Okay, so here we are. There's also something called drain. That was an interesting sound. So every time I hit the dot, the period, he's poisoned. Oh, check that. Okay, that's why. So I poison him once, and every time we move, look at his HP go down. Because he's poisoned. And this guy, I assume if we just move him around. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, and he's dead. So he had he was poisoned, and then his HP slowly drained. Okay. Oops. No. Hold on. I want to make sure sound is on. So we did everything. Jump on his head. Must be one space away from opponent. We saw that magic kick to opponent's head. Oh, no. We didn't jump on the opponent's head. We did the magic kick to the opponent's head. So I got to go next to him and push 0. I can even be 2 spaces away to punch him. Okay, let's make sure to do that. And the only moves for the spear guy are S and tab, basically. All right. Okay, let's... so I'm going to move right up to... I'm going to move this guy here. And I'm going to go and I'm going to... Well, first I'll punch him. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty cool. So that's the punch when you're 1 away. It's like a magic punch. Now I want to go on top of you. No, go right up to you and hit 0. Hey. Wait a second. Do I have to be 1 away? Oh, there we go. I jumped on your head. You could see a little bit of blood. I don't know if you can see that, but it's there. Okay, that's great. Now, this guy, the spear type guy, if I hit S, he's got to be right next to him. And now we also have a spear. So let's go far away because I saw that I could really throw this spear far and hit tab. Hey. So, okay, here's the thing. And this could be another one of his very intricate details. Wherever I am, I can hit tab. And here, let's move into a different position. So I can hit tab. And I've thrown my spear. But now, if I hit tab again, nothing happens. And I assume that's because the spear is now out of my hand and I have to go retrieve it. And every time you move, you get to throw the spear again. Okay. So I'm not sure how you magically get the spear back in your hand, but that's pretty cool. Okay, well. So he created the template for the original game, and then he just added changed a few things, kept almost the same sprites, and changed some moves up. But this is what you do. This is you iterate on something. You make your basic thing, and then you can tweak it. And so he wanted a magic guy. Well, why not? Of course he can have a magic guy if he really wants to. Okay, so I think these are all the same. Good guy and bad guy, they just draw. They just do some draw statements. And literally, I think the bad, yeah. The spear. Yeah, this is just, you draw him and then you get him. Guy to spear, he calls it. But surely, okay. Yeah, we need some kind of frames of animation here. So you have your guy to, and then the guy to punch, and the guy to spear. So presumably when he's throwing his spear. Okay, and the good guy I think is exactly the same because that looked like the same sprite. Except now he's called Guy 1 when he's magic. Warning. Moves. Yeah, that's fine. Random number generator, randomized timer, all your variables to hold all your sprites. Screen 12, 640 by 480 screen resolution. We're going to draw the guys and clear the screen. We have this throw. So this is kind of what I suspect is the variable that's going to be used to check whether the spear guy has thrown his spear. I think it's a flag. We'll see. Well, it might be. It might not be. But I think it's a flag. Okay, warning. Warning, this contains graphic violence. We saw this last time in the first version. This is all the same. High level of graphical violence. Blood. This is always, oh, moves. What's moves? Oh, this just prints all that text to the screen. Nothing exciting there. His map of the cells of the screen that go all the way up to 660 on the x-coordinate. The x-axis, that's kind of weird, but that's okay. X and Y are 0, XX and YY are 300 and 360. So again, like last time, XX and YY are the spear guy. X and Y are the magic guy, whom he has deemed the good guy. So H and HH are your hit points. And I think, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so our game loop, clear the screen, print, basically print 25 spaces and go to, why does he print the H? And then he prints, this is casting it to an integer, is it not? Returns the largest integer less than or equal to a numeric expression. So what he's done here is somewhere along the lines, I think the hit points of the spear guy get probably divided by a certain number, which might produce some decimal places. And so he's casted it to an integer. He's chopped off all the decimal places before he prints the spear guy's HP, suggesting to me that there's a division that happens somewhere. Okay. Put the two guys, wait for input. And we're going to see all these loops again. This is, or not loops, these if statements. These are just amazing. Amazing in their lack of brevity. But the basic idea is move left, move right, move up, and move down. If you hit a diagonal, move right and up, move left and up, move left and down. Punching. So if we're punching, Very similar. Clear the screen. Put the good guy. Show him punching. Then put the bad guy. Then wait a little bit. Then, if the y coordinates are the same, so if they're on the same row and their x values are one space away, then the bad guy's hit points goes down randomly between 1 and 5. Now, if it's in fact 2 spaces away, if the difference between the x coordinates is 60 instead of 30, then you're going to put in the cell between them at x plus 30, the guy won magic, which is what we saw. We saw that green silhouette. And the bad guy's hit points goes down randomly by 5. What else if and equals 90? This suggests I can move even further away. Well, that would be cool. So I can be 3 away and there'll be more magic happening. Yeah, so right now it's making the sound, but it's not doing anything. And that's the if statement. We're still too far away, so it's not actually doing anything. Ooh, so I can. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's kind of nice. So where are we here? Yeah, so if he's 3 spaces away, we can do that same thing. They all take off randomly, 1 to 5. Okay, if sound on is yes, then play this beautiful music. That's the sound, and then wait. Wait for a bit. Okay, if you hit enter and you're not 60, and you're not 60 away, and y is greater than 0. So if you're, okay, so the only time you can't do the jump kick is when you're exactly 60 away, which is you just have 1 space in between. Any time else, then you can actually jump. And yeah, and this is the same logic we saw last time, so I'm not going to go through it. If you're at the same row and you're right next to him, and if he's, you know, right back up against the wall, then he's not going to be pushed backwards. But we don't need to see that. We saw that last time. Same row, right next to him, and he's not 600. Oh, right. Not 570. He will go once. Put the guy 2. Blood will come out. Then his Y goes down. You know, let's just see that. I think what I want to do, though, is same thing as last time, is get rid of these things. So we're just going to make, yes, the sound will always be on. And we will always have a high level of blood. But I don't need to do this, and I don't need to do this. I certainly don't need to clear the screen 3 times in a row. I don't need to show my moves. Okay, so now, whoops. There we go. So if this guy is way up against the wall, oh, no, this is a different move. Okay, so this is him at 600. This is him at 570. Yeah, okay. So when he's sufficiently to the left of the wall, the kick pushes him backwards. But obviously if I'm right next up against the wall, he doesn't move back. He still gets a kick in the head, but now this game ended and it shows me punching. That's a bug. All I was doing was kicking him. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing here. So punching, this is the magic kick. So this is where, yeah, so for R equals 1 to 30, so we're going to move the guy up. We're going to put the guy kicking. This is actually not, I was expecting a special put statement. This isn't a special put statement. Subtract 1 from his vertical position and put him. So he's going to move rapidly up 30 pixels, which we saw. If we have blood, then we're going to do all this blood stuff. And the hit points of the bad guy go down between 1 and 5 plus 5. So this is between 6 and 10. So when he says the magic punch, here he said the magic punch must be right up to opponent, 5 to 10 power. He's actually wrong. It's actually 6 to 10 power. That's okay. He can be wrong. Okay. Otherwise, and here we continue on. If you're right next to him, but he's not at the end of the screen, then what? What is this in? Oh, this is all if... Whoops. My microphone is falling off. This is all if you hit enter. This is part of this if statement. Ay, ay, ay. So if you've pressed enter to do this kick, if he's 1 away and not against the wall, push him back. If he is 1 away and he is against the wall, basically the same thing, just don't push him back. And we see the difference in, yeah, so here we do X plus 30, that pushes him back. In this if statement, oh, right, this is not 600. So this, you can push him back. So he does get pushed back. What's the difference? What's the difference between same row, 1 away, and not 600. This one is same row, 1 away, and precisely 570. Wait a second. Okay, up here. Look at this. Look at this. Maybe I'm wrong, but XX is initialized to be 300. Oh, no, that's right. Sorry. No, I was thinking you could never get to 570, but you certainly can get to 570. What's the difference? He gets pushed back. That happens, the blood happens. The very end, he gets pushed down one row. Maybe that's the difference? Okay. I don't have split screens here. We're going to have to just do this manually. You know, I think I messed myself up. Where am I? I should take a look at my line numbers. So we've gone through this. We've gone through the punch. This is if you hit enter. This is if you're at K and it's 570. This is if it's not 600. This is what I'm confused about. Y equals YY, XX minus X equals 30. Y equals YY, X minus X equals 30. And XX equals 570. Here, XX is not equal to 600. First thing I do is move the bad guy to the right 30. Then I show the kicking animation. Then I put guy 2. Then I put the spear guy. Move the bad guy to the right. Do the kicking animation. Put the spear guy. Next, show blood and play the sound and wait. Here, I show blood, play the sound and wait. Then, the magic guy moves down 30. Both guys are put and hit points go down. Here, magic guy moves down 30. Only the magic guy is put back on the screen. Why would he? See, here he's only putting the bad guy. Here he's putting the... Wait, no. You cannot do a put statement at a coordinate that's off the screen. You will get an exception, an error. Your program will end. So I suspect what he's done is he's gone through and he realized that 570 would work because you can move over to 600. Yeah. And so that would be okay, but no, this doesn't make any sense. And it's not equal to 600. If the bad guy's not at 600. What is happening here? What is with this if statement? Here's the bad guy, and he's at 600. All the way to the edge of the screen. Here's my guy, my magic guy, and he's right next to him. I'm going to kick him. Clearly, there's an XX plus 30 happening. So why did I not see that? No, this is all for the kicking. Here we go. he clearly moves to the right here. If he's not 600, if he's not at 600, it means he's not at the very end of the screen. We can move him to the right. But why does he have two branches here? One special for 570. Because if we just do this and take this whole branch out, whoops, and make this an if, and we move this guy to 570, which is all the way to the left and then one over. This guy comes here and he's one away. No, he's right next to him. Now what? I don't know. I think it's I think it was unnecessary. I don't think that's a real thing. I think he had this thing in here for some reason, and he just okay, and he just put in these cases that he thought he needed. Maybe after the fact, he never went back or something. I don't know. I don't know why. This is clearly not important, and I can't hit the delete button properly. Okay. All right, so if he's not at 600, then we can do the exact same thing. That's fine. If he is at 600, do everything the same, except don't move him to the right, which you saw was up here. XX equals XX plus 30. This is how you write as much code as you possibly can. All right, if you're right next to him, and yeah, that's what we saw. Okay. Although when you're right next to him at the end, it's plus 7 instead of plus 5. Okay. Else if, oh my word, XX minus X is greater than 30. So if you're more than one away from him, the magic kick is not going to do anything. But you are going to jump. So this is all showing all that animation. Putting the guy, animating the guy up, putting the bad guy, waiting, moving you down, and putting the good guy back again. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to jump on his head. And I think this is ASCII code 48. What is this? 48 is 0, right? Okay. So now you're doing the kicking where you jump up and to the right. This is the same as before. This is the same move as the ninja guy in the last one. So I don't think we're going to spend too much time on this. This is interesting though. 46. Now 46, I believe, is the period, the decimal point. Yes, it is. So this is what happens when you poison him. So if you're going to poison him, you have to literally be the same. What? You have to be at the same X value, which means you're at the same column. And he's got to be right below you. Huh. Okay, so if he's right below you, you can hit period. For whatever reason, we clear the screen and put the two guys again, because why not? And then P equals randomly 1 or 2. Okay, now if P is 1, okay, so when you hit period, you're going to get a 50-50 chance of poisoning him or not. If it's 1, then poisoned becomes 1, this variable we've never seen before. And if sound is on, then play this thing. And this is a 60-second note, an A sharp. That's that little tink you hear when he poisons. What? Oh, Combat2.bat. No, BAS exclamation mark. No. All of my commenting out code kind of messed some stuff up here. So this is the, so if I, oh yes, I lost all my stuff. So if I hit period, it does nothing. Period does nothing. I can't even be right next to him. I gotta be on top of him. That did nothing. That did nothing. There. I'm not sure if you heard that. That's the 60-second A sharp. And now he's poisoned, and now his health will slowly diminish. So that's cool. Now poisoned, I don't think, let's just go back all the way up to the top of the program and search for poisoned. That literally is the only place that we've seen it. So this is the first time it's being used. It was 0 before, and now it's 1. So we're going to do something with that. Okay, other guy. Same thing. His moves, his punch will be the same. This time he's got an if statement on one line. If you're trying to punch the magic guy, you're the spear guy, and you're in the same row and right next to him, then the spear guy, the magic guy's hit points goes down between 1 and 7. And then play this. He's got if statements on the same line, and they go off the edge of the screen. Well, that's brilliant. Usually when you use the colon to append lines, they're short and they kind of make sense to have. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. He can do that if he wants to. Okay, and here we go. If throw equals 0. So this is, you're hitting space. And throw equals 0. So that means you haven't thrown yet, I'm assuming, because throw was set to 0. Let me just make sure. 261, line 261. See, here we set it to 0. And I said it's probably a flag, and lo and behold, it looks like I was right. So if you hit spacebar and you haven't thrown yet, and you're right, oh, and you're not right next to the guy, or you hit tab, and you're not right next to the guy, and throw equals 0. Okay, well, this is funny. So he wants to say if you're not right next to him, throw equals 0, and you've hit either space or tab. And the only way he thought to do it was to do the whole 3 checks 2 full times. And that's okay. I mean, you have to remember he was in high school at the time. Like, you do the first thing that comes into your brain. That really is what programming in QBasic when you're a punk teenager is all about. Like, don't get, you could simplify this, you know, check for space or tab first, and then just check for throw and your X coordinate once, but he didn't. That's okay. There's no problem with that. I mean, there is in the real world. But for these kinds of things, it's not like nobody's going to come, 20 years later and criticize your code on YouTube or anything like that, right? Okay, if he hasn't thrown, then throw equals 1. But he's clearing the screen there first for good measure. Putting the guy 1, putting the guy 2. He actually had a wait in here, but he commented it out. I wonder why. Let's uncomment it for now. So now if you're at the same row, then you're actually going to draw this thing happen. And we didn't actually see this get drawn. So I don't know, I'm going to increase this 5,000 times. We didn't actually get to see his wonderful throwing animation. Our computer's too fast. So let's do that. We're going to get through all of this first. Okay, so our attempt to throw a spear. Here we go. That was awesome. Okay. You probably missed that. Maybe you didn't, but I'm going to so if you're at the same row, we're going to go back to it and we're going to pause it there. Then P set X. I thought he was going to draw something from the spear guy's, sprite, showing the animated spear. But no, we take the magic guy, whoops, and we're putting a brown pixel in front of we're putting a brown pixel. We're 30 by 30 cells, so X plus 14, Y plus 15 is right in the middle of the magic guy, so like right in his stomach. A brown pixel, and we're going to draw to the right 10. So we're going to draw a 10 pixel brown sticking out of the magic guy's stomach. And then we're going to draw blood. So basically the same pixel, but we're going to go left 1, down 1, right 1. Left 1, down 1, right 1. Okay, so it becomes a square. It gets drawn a little red square. And okay, sound gets played. Okay, and then we wait. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sleep here, and that will stop the program until I push a button. That was hilarious. I did not expect that at all. Okay, so here's the spear guy, and let's do this. It's not exactly a square of blood. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's just an optical illusion. So there's the spear sticking out of the magic guy. That's hilarious. Okay. Good. Good. We're almost done. This has been a really long video. It's easy to do, though, because I'm on vacation, I'm locked down, and I'm in the house by myself. So what else can I do, right? Okay, let's get rid of that sleep. We'll keep those long breaks in there. So if you haven't, okay, now here we go. So if you haven't hit space or tab after a full game loop, then throw equals 0. So you get 1 throw per move. You can't just stay in the same position and throw. So if you haven't thrown a spear, then you now can throw a spear next time. If you're on the same coordinates and you're not, the magic guy is not fully up against the wall, then he gets pushed back. Right, that's one thing we didn't check out. But we saw that last time, is the magic guy can be pushed around. So I can push him. There we go. Yeah, that's not a big deal, but just an intricacy. If you're at the same coordinates, then XX equals XX plus 30. What? I really don't know what that's all about. If you're on the exact same position. Oh, okay. So if you're on the exact same position and the magic guy's not up against the wall, he gets pushed back. In the case that he is at the edge of the wall and he can't get pushed back, that's the only case when this is going to run. No. Yes. Yes, because they'll be the same. So this won't get updated. So they'll still be the same. And then just the spear guy stays where he is, basically. If poisoned, then the spear guy's hit points goes down by 0.5. And that is why we did this way up here. So it wasn't a division. If I got rid of that, he casted it to an integer. So come up here, come here, let's poison him. There we go. Now every time you can see his hit points, and they're going down by 0.5. And he didn't want to show the 0.5, which is why he put in that integer. That used that int function to take away the decimals. Okay. That was done. Okay. And we loop until one of them is dead, basically. Okay. And if the... Huh. Interesting. What? If the spear guy is greater than 600 or less than 0, so he's off the screen, or the spear guy is greater than 420, so he's off the screen, or hit points is less than 1, then put the guy punching, which is what we saw. When we win, when the magic guy wins, the ending credit shows him punching. Otherwise, put the spear guy. But this isn't, how can that ever happen? I really don't think that can happen. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Anyway, okay. I think we're done. That's it. That was a fairly long video, but we got through it all. Yeah, thanks for joining me in this adventure in old code. He has a friggin' spear. Have a nice day. And we'll see you next time.